think the Saints are being talked about enough. I really don't. I love your energy. Thank you, Jared. The Saints are definitely, after watching preseason, I fully believe the Saints will win their division. And I know preseason is just like, it's preseason. Like, it doesn't really matter. But I do think the Saints are winning the NFC South. Because Derek Carr, the little bit that he did play in that game, he looked pretty dang good. He looked pretty dang good. I think he's good. He's got something to prove, and he's going to prove it. I've been saying that almost every stream. They're definitely winning the NFC South, no doubt. I really think they will. I don't think they're being talked about enough after watching that preseason game. Now, I will say, I said this earlier in my stream too, I use an app called Reel, by the way. If you guys want to download it, it's literally free. You can watch stats on literally any single sports game. It doesn't matter if it's basketball, baseball, football, hockey. Like, it shows you the stats. You can't watch any replays or anything. Like, you can't physically watch it. But it will show you, like, how many yards, like passing yards the quarterback has, how many interceptions. Like, it shows you everything as soon as it's happening in real time. Love it. It's a great app. So I use that to like keep up with everything. And you can also not bet, because it's not money. You don't bet money, but you can pick polls on who you think are going to win. And then on your profile, it'll tell you how many polls you've won and stuff, and versus how many you haven't won. So I try to do polls for every single NFL game. I've been doing it for a couple years now. I actually went undefeated for the Lions last year until like week 6 or something. I went like undefeated on predicting their game. It's called Reel, just Reel, R-E-A-L. And it's made by college students too. So it's a fairly newer app. It's been out for a couple years, but it's not super well known. And you can do polls on who you think's gonna win. And I do it for the Bengals too. I try not to be biased. I picked the Packers to beat the Bengals in the preseason. I genuinely picked the Packers to beat the Bengals in the preseason game because I knew that Burrow's out, and I knew that we weren't going to play any of our starters. And I knew that the Packers have some decent rookies that they're going to be starting, and I know that Jordan Love is going to make his debut. And I had a feeling that the Packers were going to win that game, and they did. I was right. And I also picked the Lions, and the Lions won too. The only games I got wrong was the Cardinals game. Didn't expect the Cardinals to win. Now, they won by like 1 point, but I didn't expect them to win. I did not. I got the Steelers, right? I picked the Steelers to win, and they ended up winning over the Bucks. I'm trying to think of who I picked. I'm trying to think of the wrong ones I got wrong. I think I picked the Colts to win, and they didn't win. I did pick the Ravens to win against the Eagles, and they won, so I was right about that. Just download it. It's so good. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You can watch any sports on there. Not watch, but like I said, stats and stuff. It is so good. And each time you watch a game, like you log into a game, you get 5 points for it, and your points, like, they're called karma, 5 karma, and they add up, and you can get on like their leaderboard for being like the top people in their app. It's pretty cool. I love it. I love it. I try to get a lot of people to use it. I'm not even sponsored by them, but it helps me learn about players that I wouldn't really know, especially during preseason where it's a bunch of guys trying to make a name for themselves. That app helps me so freaking much because I can go to like the stats for each player who played in that game, and I could see like everything that happened, everything they did. It's very similar to ESPN, but I think it's slightly better than ESPN. Thank you for liking the stream. Thank you. Because I like how you can do polls, and like they do polls for every game. And they'll also do polls mid-game during the game. They'll be like, what team do you think is going to score the next points? or what player do you think is going to get the next touchdown, and you get to pick a player. Now, obviously, that's really, you don't know if you're going to get that or not. You don't know if that's really, like, I shouldn't say risky because you don't bet money, but you can bet karma, which is your points, your in-game, in-app points. But I usually don't do the players because I usually just don't know who's going to score the next touchdown. Especially during preseason, because I don't know half the guys playing during preseason. But they did, one of the polls was what team is going to score more points in the fourth quarter. And I think it was, I try to remember what game it was. It was the Chiefs game. Jared, thank you for the rose. Thank you for the rose, Jared. It was the Chiefs versus Saints game, and I picked the Saints to win, or Saints to win. I did pick the Saints. I think it was the Chiefs versus Saints game, and I was right. I was freaking right. And y'all think I don't have good takes? I freaking trust my noggin. Thank you for the pizza, Jared. My phone's on 10%. Trust my noggin. I get a lot of things right. Not to like on week freaking 4. Week 4 when we barely beat the Jaguars. We won by like a few, I don't know if it was a field goal, I can't remember, but we barely beat the Jaguars. Week 4 of 2021 when Urban Meyer was the coach, and I literally was like, yep, the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl, and guess freaking what? They went to the dang Super Bowl. Everybody laughed at me. Everyone laughed at me. Because we barely won against Urban Meyer's Jaguars, but we did it. We freaking did it. I do think, heck no, Jake Browning is not, I mean, Trevor, I'm not going to say what I say his last name is because it's inappropriate. Trevor was butthole for us. Trevor was butthole. Get Trevor out. And Jake Browning, I am so butthurt that we kept Jake Browning over Drew Plitt, and I still am not over that. Because in last year during preseason, we had Jake Browning and we had Drew Plitt, and they were both playing, you know, trying to prove themselves, trying to make it on the active roster, whatever. And I thought Drew Plitt balled out for us. I thought, you don't even know who Drew Plitt is. Get out of here. I thought Drew Plitt was killing it in preseason. I even said, like, get rid of Brandon Allen. Drew Plitt could be Joe Burrow's backup. Like, I fully was supporting it. And the next thing you know, we kept Jake Browning over Drew Plitt. And I'm like, you maniacs. I don't like Jake Browning, really. But he is better than Trevor. Because, it's only one preseason game in. It could change. And I hope it does. Trevor, please. Please, man. Please. We need a good backup quarterback. It sucks because, go Oilers, you Titans fan? It sucks. It hurts me so bad to see, we have Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's not the best because Patrick Mahomes is, but Joe Burrow is definitely top 5 for, I would like to believe, everybody. He's my number 2. But I would like to believe that everybody has Joe Burrow at least in their top 5. And then we got nothing for a backup quarterback, basically. We have no good backup quarterback. And I'm so sad that we don't have Brandon Allen anymore, because I thought Brandon Allen, he's not great, but he wasn't horrible. I feel like as of the first preseason game, no offense to Trevor, okay? No offense to Trevor. But after watching that preseason game, I feel like we're in the Ryan Finley phase all over again. I feel like they 2 peas in a pod right now. Right now. It could change, because that was just the first preseason game. I'm hoping it does. I really do. I freaking really hope it changes. I was very disappointed with our backup quarterbacks. Very. But Chase Brown, though, man was proving himself. Man was, so is Zappy. I don't know, why are you talking about Bailey Zappy? Ritter over Burrow. Ooh. Sorry.